Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you guys on how I make this beautiful beanie, which I make in 3 different ways. I made one in green and black, yellow, and the other one for white, green and yellow, and the other one just plain white, which has the written words on it. So I'm going to show you guys on how I make it. It's very simple and it's a step-by-step tutorial, very easy to make. So these beanies can be styled on male and female, especially those that have locks. If you have locks, it will be perfect for you. Or if you have a hair that that you make hair, you just want to look something different and stylish, so this bend is very good for you. The material we are going to use for the project, here is the material. So we are going to make use of our 3.0 millimeter hook, 3.0 millimeter hook. You can use 3.5, you can use 4 millimeter hook. So I want it to be this thick and tight enough, so that is more reason I make use of my hook, which is 3 millimeter hook. So you also need your scissors to cut off the ends, and you also need your lighter to burn the ends, to burn it so it will be perfect, not be able to you know to lose easily or something like that. So we make use of this. Then also making use of the stitch marker. This for the beginners, for you to know your beginning and the end of your project. As a beginner, you need it. And this tapestry needle, this you need it to weave in your ends. And here are the colors we are going to use for the item. These are Nigeria green color, and this yellow color, and this black, and this is red color. These are all yeye yarn. These are all yeye yarn, which is Nigeria brand. So it's Nigerian brand. It's cotton yarn, it's acrylic, and it's 3-ply. So I'm going to double this strand because it's 3-ply and it's so tiny. So I have to double it to make it bold enough. So let's go straight to the tutorial. So I forgot, we also need our measuring tape to measure the length we want. So we also need our measuring tape for it. And for start, we are going to make use of black color for start. So I'm not going to make use of this because it's going to be dark. I'm not sure you are going to see it so clearly, especially for you beginners. And so I want to make use of this white color as the beginning for the base, for the crown of the cap, for the circumference of the cap. So I'm going to make use of this white, so you're able to see it clearly. You can make use of black, but in the video I'm not sure, maybe you can see it so clearly. So let's make use of the white for example. So I'm going to double the strands, like I said. I'm going to double the strands. This way, so you are going to double it. Now you are going to start with making a magic ring. So for us to start with that, you are going to make a magic ring. There are 2 ways for you to make a magic ring. You can make it this way, cross it, then you grab your yarn, then you begin to the chain 3, you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So you start working on your magic ring. But you can also make it this way. Also, you just have to make your knot, so once I've already done that, you chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once I've already chained 5, you go move back to the first stitch there, the first stitch that you make there. So you insert your hook into it, then you pull out a loop. You do what? You slip stitch it. You slip stitch. Let me repeat it again so you see it. You make a knot. Once I've already made your knot, then you chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once I've already chained 5, this is your first stitch there. You insert your hook into it, then you pull out a loop, then you slip stitch. You slip stitch this way, then you chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So mind you, this chain doesn't count. This doesn't count. This count. This doesn't count. This is a chain. So for you as a beginner here, you need to put your stitch marker there to identify your beginning. You just have to put your stitch marker there at the first chain there. Okay, then you yarn over. So this is your magic circle. Have you seen your magic circle? You can see in between. So here is the magic circle. So yarn over, then this count. This is your first double crochet. You make 12 double crochet into this circle. So once you have already yarn over, you insert your hook into the ring magic circle there, then you pull out a loop. So once you have already pulled out a loop, you are going to pull through 2, then pull through 2 loop. That is your double crochet. That counts as 1. This counts as 1 double crochet now. So yarn over into the chain, into the magic ring again. You pull out a loop, you pull through 2, you pull through 2. So this is your 1, 2, 2 double crochet. So yarn over into that same magic ring again. You pull out a loop, having 3 loops. You pull through 2, you pull through 2. So this is how it looks. 1, 2, 3. So we are having 3 double crochet. So you should have more 8 double crochet to go, because you have already done 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have 8 more to go. So you yarn over, you pull through, you pull through. So you have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 double crochet. So continue making it till you have 12 double crochet in your magic ring. Then I'll meet you. So I have my 12 double crochet here. So I'm going to pull this. You're going to drag it so tight to close your magic circle. You see, it has already closed. So you are going to, since you have already make your 12 double crochet, you are going to slip stitch into this space here. So remember, this is your first stitch. As you put your stitch marker there. So this is your first stitch. Then you are going to remove your stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker. Then you slip stitch into the first stitch for you to have a straight line. So you're not going to slip stitch into the first stitch where you remove your stitch marker. You're not going to slip stitch there. You're going to slip stitch into the second stitch. Remember, this is your chain where your stitch marker is, and this is where your 1 double crochet started. This is where your double crochet starts. So you're going to slip stitch into that double crochet, not into the chain. The double crochet, you slip stitch in there. Pull out a loop, then you slip stitch. So this is your magic circle, and this counts as row 1. So this is your row 1. Then for the next row, which should be your row 2, you are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So like I said, this doesn't count. This is just your chain, it doesn't count. So you have already chained 3, then you yarn over. So in this your row 2, you are going to make 2 double crochet into each stitch. 2 double crochet into each stitch. So you are going to yarn over. As a beginner, you are going to put your stitch marker here to mark the beginning. You put your stitch marker there. So you put your stitch marker there. Then you yarn over. So once I've already yarned over, so this is your first stitch here. You can see that same space where you make your slip stitch will be your first stitch. So into it, you are going to make 2 double crochet. That same space where you make your chain, you are going to make your 2 double crochet into it. You have a 3 loops, then you pull through 2, you pull through 2. That is 1 double crochet. Yarn over into that same space again. You repeat it. You make your 1 double crochet. So you have 2 double crochet now. 1, 2. This doesn't count. So you have 2 double crochet. Yarn over into the next stitch. You make your 2 double crochet. This is your 1 double crochet. Yarn over into that same space again. You make your 2 double crochet. then yarn over into the next. You make your 2 double crochet, 1, 2. So you continue making 2 double crochet to get to the end of the row. So this is my end of the row. I'm at the end of my row, so which is 2 double crochet in each stitch, and I have a total of 24 stitches. When you count it, 1 2 3 4, so I have 24 stitches here, because when you times 12 times 2, it will give you 24, right? So you are going to multiply everything by 12. So you are going to slip stitch into your stitch. So you are going to remove your stitch marker, then you slip stitch. Remember, you're not going to slip stitch into the first chain, into that chain that you made. So into the second stitch, which is your double crochet, that is where you slip stitch. So you are going to have a straight line. So you are going to skip this chain. So into the double crochet, you make your slip stitch and slip stitch. So here you go. Then you chain 3, 1 2 3. So this is how it looks. So you keep on putting your stitch marker into all the chains to mark your beginning. Okay, so I am not used to it. I'm not going to use it because it's disturbing me or something. So you can use it as a beginner. So if you are good enough to know your beginning, so you don't need it. So let's start. Then in this row 3, you're not going to chain. You're not going to make your double crochet into the first stitch here, into the up stitch here. You are going to make it in between this place, in between. You're not going to put it up here. You are going to put it in between this way. In here, that's where you are going to put it, not up. So in here, you are going to make your increase of 1 double crochet. This 1 double crochet, which is be your increase, yarn over. So in between, not up here, not up, not here, in between, you are going to make your 2 double crochet. So this is an increase of 1, 2 double crochet. Then the next, you make an increase of 1 again. In between, you make your increase of 1 double crochet. Then you make your 2 double crochet into this place. In between, you're going to make your 2 double crochet. So here you go. Increase of 1, 2 double crochet, increase of 1, 2 double crochet. So that is how you continue your row 3. The increase of 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet in between your stitch, not up, in between your stitch. Look at it. You are not supposed to put it here. This is where you put it, in between. You can see you put it in between. This is your increase of 1. Then in between your stitch, this should be your increase of, this should be your 2 double crochet in a stitch. So that is how you continue making it to get to the end of this your row 3. So the last stitch for my row 3, which will be my 2 double crochet in a stitch, in between the stitch. So here you go. This is how it looks. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the second chain, not this chain, not the first chain, into the double crochet, first double crochet there. I'm going to slip stitch. So this is how it looks. Then in our next row, which will be the row 4, you are going to chain 3. Once you have already chained 3, so for the row 4, you are going to make an increase of 2. Remember, in our row 3, we make an increase of 1. So in our row 4, we are going to make an increase of 2. So this is how you are going to do it. For the row 4, you are going to yarn over into that same stitch where you make your chain. You are going to go in there with your double crochet, using in between, sorry, not up the stitch, in between the stitch, in between, you are going to make your 1 double crochet. Then the next, you make 1 double crochet. This is an increase of 2. 1 double crochet in each stitch, 1 2. 1 double crochet in the first stitch. In the next stitch, you make your 1 double crochet, which this is your increase of 2. So you are going to make your double crochet, 2 double crochet in a stitch for the third stitch, 1 2. In between the stitch, you are going to use in between the stitch. So that is how you continue making it to get to the end of your row 4. So this is how my row 4 is. They are going to slip stitch into the second stitch. This should be your first. This is your first double crochet there. You slip stitch. So this is how your row 4 is. So this is how your row 4 is. So in the next stitch, which should be row 5, you are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. What shall I already chain 3? So remember, in our row 3 we increase 1. In our row 4 we increase 2. In our row 5 you are going to increase 3, which is we are adding one stitch in each row. Row 1 we increase 1. Row 2 we make an increase of 1. Sorry, row 4 we make an increase of 1, which is increase of 2. Then our next row we are going to add 1 stitch, making 3, which should be increase of 3. In our row 6, increase of 4. In our row 5, increase of 5. In our row 6, what am I saying? In our row 1, in our row 3, increase of 1. Row 4, increase of 2. Row 5, increase of 4. Row 6, increase of 5. So that is how you continue making an increase till you get to row 9. So here is our row 5. You yarn over. You make an increase of 1, 2, 3, 4. In our row 4, you make an increase of 2. So in our row 5, you are going to make an increase of 3. So in that same stitch, you are going to go in with your 1 double crochet. Sorry, using the middle. In between the stitch, you are going to make your 1 double crochet. Yarn over. In the next, you make your 1 double crochet. That is 2 increase. In the next, you make your 1 double crochet. That is the increase of 3 you are going to have in our row 5. So this is an increase of 3 you are going to have in our row 5. Then yarn over. In the next stitch, you are going to work in with your 2 double crochet in a stitch. So yarn over. You make an increase of 3 again. 1, 2. In the next again, 3. So increase of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over. Then 2 double crochet in a stitch. So this is our row 5. This is row 1, and this row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Row 5, you make an increase of 3. Row 6, you are going to make an increase of 4. Row 5, you are going to make an increase of 5. What am I saying? 1, 2, 3, 4. So in our row 4, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In our row 5, make an increase of 3. So in your row 6, you are going to make an increase of 4. Row 7, increase of 5. So that is how you continue making it to get to row 9. And I'll meet you in your row 9. So continue adding one stitch in each row to get to your row 9. So the last stitch of my row 10, I'm going to slip stitch into the second stitch. To the second stitch here, you skip this, then into this you make your slip stitch. So I stop at row 10. So you can make row 9, row 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, depends on how wide you want your straw sheet to be. So it depends on how wide you want it to be. So this is my row 10. I make a total rows of row 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is row 10, which is an increase of 8 double crochet. So increase of 8 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my row 10. So it measures 8 inches. So it measures 8 inches. If you want it more wider, you can make it up to row 12 or row 15. If you want it smaller, I can leave it this way. If you want it in row 7 or in row 8, it's your choice. But this is my row 10 and it measures 8 inches, which is an increase of 7 double crochet increases. So for the next row, which should be your row 11, which should be your row 11. So what you are going to do in the next row, you are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So once you have already chained 3, in this row 11, you are not going to increase. You are just going to keep working double crochet in each stitch making use of the in between space. Yeah, so you're not going to make an increase, just keep working a double crochet till you get to the end of the row. Double crochet in the next, make your double crochet in the next, make a double crochet. So keep making double crochet to get to the end of the row. The last stitch of my row 11, I'm going to work in with my one double crochet. So you are going to slip stitch into the second stitch, skip the first the chain into this first stitch there, which your double crochet, make your slip stitch. So this is how curved it will be. Your row 11, just work one double crochet without no increase. So this is how it looks. You can see. So in your next row now, which should be your row 12, you are going to switch to other color. The next color I'm going to switch in is my green color. So in this row you are going to make a double crochet chain, double crochet chain 1. So let's start. So for you to join another yarn, you are going to insert your hook into that same stitch where you need to stitch, skip the first into the second stitch there, insert your hook, then you grab your new yarn and pull it out. You slip stitch with it, you slip stitch, you have to drag this, then so you tie it, secure it so well. Then I'm going to put your insert your hook back into that same stitch, into the same stitch, you insert your hook, then you pull out a loop, you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So once I've already chained 3, you are going to cut off this. So when cutting it, you are going to leave a long tail, cut it off. So this row, which should be your row 12, you are going to chain. After chain, you are going to chain 4. Remember we have already chained 3, so you are going to chain 1 to make it 4. The one you chain now that make it 4, make is your chain 1. It means chain 1. You chain 3, then now chain 1, making 4. That chain 1 that you did now is your chain 1. Okay, then yarn over, no skipping. Into that next stitch again, you make your one double crochet. No skipping at all. Then you chain 1, yarn over, no skipping. Into the next stitch again, you make your double crochet. You chain 1, you yarn over, into the next you make your double crochet. You chain 1, you yarn over, into the next stitch you make your double crochet. You can see no skipping, just keep chaining 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. So you continue this way to get to the end of the row. For my row 11, the last stitch, I'm going to work in with my double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Then you are going to chain 1, then you chain 1, you slip stitch into the third chain here. Remember you count 4 chains, so you are going to count 1, 2, 3. So into the third one, you make your slip stitch. Slip stitch. So these are it looks now. So in your next row, which should be your row 13, so your row 12. This is your row 11. So for your row 12, to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you chain 4. It means you have already chained 1 that way. Then you yarn over. So once you have already yarn over, into the chain space, into the chain space here, you're working with your double crochet. This is it. Then you chain one, yarn over your chain space, here, you're working there with your double crochet. You chain, yarn over into that nest to make your double crochet. That is how it looks. Then you chain, yarn over into the nest, you make your double crochet. So you continue doing that, you get to the end of your row 12. At the last stitch of my 12th row, I'm going to make my one double crochet, then I'll chain one, then into the chain here, I'm going to count 3 chains, 1 2 3. So into the third chain there, 1 2 3, into the third chain, I'm going to make my slip stitch there. So this space is your chain. So this is how it looks in my row 12. So in my row 13, I'm going to switch into this yellow color. For you to switch into your yellow color, you are going to move back, then insert your hook into your stitch. You insert your hook there, then you pull out this blue, you slip stitch. So once you have already slip stitch, grab this so tight, then you make a knot with it. Grab here, then secure your knot tight. So insert your hook into that same space, you pull out a loop. So remember, in every 2 rows you make use of the same color. So I make use of green in my 2 rows, my row 11 and row 12. So your 13 and 14, you're going to make use of your yellow color in your row 13 and 14. So this is my row 13 now. I'm going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4. So once I've already chained 4, you're going to cut off this yarn. You're going to cut it off. Have a long tail, you cut it off. So once I've already cut it off, yarn over. So into the chain space here, into your chain space here, you're working with your double crochet. You chain one, yarn over into the next chain space, you're working with your double crochet. You chain one, yarn over into the next chain space, you're working with your double crochet. So you continue making it to get your row 14, and I'll meet you at the end of my row 14. So at the end of my 14 rows, the last stitch, you're going to work with your one double crochet, then you chain one, you skip this, then into your first stitch here. This is your first stitch. You don't need to insert into it, you insert into the second stitch. You see, you pass your hook into the second stitch. You cannot pass it here, because if you pass it here, you now have a straight line. Then into the second stitch here, you make your slip stitch. Okay, so this is how it looks. So now you're going to take your next color, which should be your red color. So you're going to start with your next color. So it depends on the color you are working for. Then you bring it back, because you are going to join another color of yarn. Then you slip stitch with the color, you slip stitch, then you pull the yarn tight, then bring this out, you chain it with this, then you pass it into that same stitch again, you pass it, then you pull out a loop, you chain 3, 1 2 3. So once I've already chained 3, yarn over, you chain 3, Remember, you are going to skip this stitch, so you are going to chain 4. Okay, that one means chain 1. You chain 1. Okay, then you yarn over into this stitch here. You make your 1 double crochet, chain 1, you yarn over into the next stitch there. You make your 1 double crochet, you chain 1 into the next stitch. You make your 1 double crochet. So you continue that way. Then you cut off your other color. You cut it off. So this is your 15 rows. The next one will be your 16 rows. After making this, it will be your 15 row. The next red row you are going to make is going to make it your 16 rows. So my 16 rows, the last stitch for my 16 rows, you are going to make your 1 double crochet, then you chain 1, then into the second stitch, inside it, you make your slip stitch. So this is loose. Then you introduce your next color, which is your color black, which is this color black. So you are using the 2 strands as always. Then you are going to start with this next color. So insert your hook into the second stitch there. You grab your yarn, you pull it out, then you slip stitch. So once I've already done that, you make sure you grab this your previous yarn, then you chain. So you make a knot. So once I've already make your knot, then you insert your hook into that same stitch again. Insert your hook there, you pull out a loop. So you work on this yarn. Then you chain 3. 1, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So once I've already chained 3, yarn over. So once I've already yarn over into the next stitch here, you make your, so you chain 4. Remember, chaining 4 means you have already chained 1. Okay, then yarn over, then into the stitch here, you make your 1 double crochet, you chain 1, you yarn over into the next stitch there, you make your 1 double crochet, you chain 1, you yarn over into your next, that way till you get to the end of the row, which will be your row 17. So this row will be your row 17. Then I'll meet you for your row 18. So this is my 18 rows. I've done my 18 rows. So for you to start with your 19 rows, before we do that, let's see the measurement, which is 15 inches, 15 inches and a half. Okay, it is 15 inches. You can see it's 15 inches. So you can continue making your, that is if you want it more bigger, or you can stop this way, or you continue if you want it more bigger. So I have 15 inches. So for now, we are going to start the next row, which should be row 19. So for us to start with this row 19, in this row 19, you're not going to row 19, you're not going to chain 1. All you just have to do is just continue making 1 double crochet into all the stitches there. So you're going to chain 3. I've already chained 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you yarn over, then into the next stitch there, you make your 1 double crochet. You yarn over the next stitch, you make your 1 double crochet. You yarn over the next stitch, you make your 1 double crochet. You yarn over the next stitch, you make your 1 double crochet. So you just continue making 1 double crochet into all the stitches. No chaining of, yeah, you don't need to chain. All you just need to do is just working 1 double crochet into all the stitches. Then I'll meet you at the end of the row. See the row 19, you can see how it looks after the row 19. Then you slip stitch into your first stitch there. You slip stitch into your first double crochet there, make a slip stitch. So this is how it looks. You can see how curved it is now. So in this next stitch, which should be our front and back post double crochet. So let's count this as the row 1. So you are going to chain 3 for the first chain of the, for the first row of the front post and back post. So you chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So once I've already chained 3, yarn over, then this is the first stitch there. You can see the first stitch here, yarn over. So this is the first stitch here. You insert your hook this way, pull it this way, you can see, then you pull out a loop, then you have 3 loops, you pull through 2, then you pull through all. You repeat it here. Now you're going to make your back post. This is your front post. Your back post, you yarn over from the back, you insert it from the back this way, and pull it this way, then you pull out a loop. You have 3 loops, you pull through 2, you pull through all. That is your back post double crochet. You yarn over your front post double crochet this way. So that is your front post double crochet. You pull through 2, you pull through all. Front post double crochet. Then your back post double crochet, yarn over from the back, take it this way, then you pull it this way. That is your back post double crochet. Then you pull through 2, you pull through all. Next, you make your front post double crochet, then your back post double crochet. So you continue making front post and back post till you get to the end of this row. Then I'll meet you at the end. So the last stitch of my first row of the brim, which is front post and back post double crochet. So this is the last stitch here. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the second stitch here. So you slip stitch into the second stitch here, you slip stitch, then you chain 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So you continue making your front post and back post double crochet. So for the row 2 of the brim, which is your front post and back post double crochet, yarn over. So this is the first stitch there. The first stitch, what we have there is your front post double crochet. So you make your front post double crochet since you have front post double crochet there. Then yarn over. The next stitch, which is your back post double crochet, you make your back post double crochet there. Yarn over into the next stitch, which is your front post, you make your front post. Yarn over the next stitch, which is your back post, you make your back post double crochet. Next front post, then the next, which is your back post, you make your back post double crochet. So you continue making this till you get to row 7. So continue making to get to row 7. So right now I'm done with my row 17. Here's my row, sorry, row 7. Okay, row 7 of front post and back post double crochet. So I'm done with it now. I'm going to slip stitch into the second stitch here. This is the chain, and into the second stitch here I'm going to make my slip stitch, then you chain 1, then you cut off your yarn. So this is how it looks at the end of it. You can see this is how it looks. So this is the time for you to sew in your hands and cut off your yarn. So for you to hide your yarn, you are going to take your darning needle, then you pass your yarn through this hole, then you begin to make front and back post. Just pass it, make sure that you secure your knot. Okay, and you pull it out, you see, then you pass it through this line. Just make sure that you find a way to pass it through. So you can cut it off with your scissors. You cut it off. So do the same thing. You can cut here off because I've already worked on the line. You can cut it off, or you can tie it this way. don't want to cut it off, you can pass this way, then pull out this out, then make a knot, make a knot. Then once you've already made a knot, you can cut it off. That's it. Repeat it also in this, then you cut it off. And to make the rope for it, and this time we are going to make use of the beads. Okay, so for us to start that, we are going to, I use three strands of 3-ply. I'm going to yarn over, just make a chain. I'll make a knot, then start making chain to your length. You can count it, you can make it to your length. So I'm going to make a chain. This is how to make a chain. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you continue this way to get to your desired length. I'm done with the strap, the rope. So I have it, a total chain. I didn't count it, but when I take the measurement, I have 14 inches. Sorry, 40. It's 40 inches long when I take the measurement. So you can make yours 40 or more than 40 or less than 40. It depends on the length you want. So this is 40 inches long. And here is the slouchy. You can see the slouch. So it depends on you. This is how the beanie is. To leave it this way, you can leave it this way, or you can add your rope to it. So for us to do that, so you cut it off using your scissors, then you pull out the loop. So you're going to grab one end of it, and you're going to pass your beads, not this way, just to hold down this and make a knot. So it's secure enough, very tight enough, so it's not loose. Okay, and make sure that your bead cannot easily come out. You can see outside it holds the bead so well that it can't remove. Then you're going to cut off this end, and you burn it with your lighter, or you can leave it that way. It's your choice. So this is how it looks. Then you're going to pass this strap through this place by using your darning needle. Then you know what, this is how you're going to do. Just take two out of it, pass it this way, then make a knot, make a knot. You're going to use it and pass it round it. Okay, so from the beginning, the first stitch here, you're going to pass it this way using the front loop only. Through the front loop only, you can see, pass it this way, just the front loop only. So you pass it, continue passing it this way till you get to the end of it here, just front loop only. See the way I did, I'm doing mine, so that is how you continue doing it. So at the last, this is the last, you are going to leave this one stitch in between. You're going to leave this in between that way, so you make sure that it's equal. Drag it, make sure that the both rope are equal. You can see. So since they are equal, then I'm going to cut off this side. So you're going to repeat the bead the same. So I'm going to first pass in the red, then the yellow, and then the green. We are going to tie it, make a knot as you did in the previous one. Make a knot, then you cut it off, burn it with your